Hi, this is the answer key to lesson 100, and I need to do A through O. The trick to each one is to actually take care of this location between the numbers that shows both the operation and the sign. The operation is given first, followed by the sign. What I would like to do is change that so it just reads as an operation. Remember, all I need to do is look to see how many negatives are present. If there's an odd number of negatives, I'm going to write down a subtraction sign. If there's an even number of negatives, I'm going to write down a positive sign or a addition sign. If there are no negatives, that's the same as having an even number. Here we go. For A, I have no negatives, so it's going to be addition. So it's -3 plus 4. They're going in opposite directions, so I find the difference between the 4 and the 3, which is 1, and I keep the sign of the direction I'm going farther in, which is a 4. Or in other words, it's just actually 4 minus 3. On B, I have a positive and a negative, so that's one negative. That means I have -3 minus 4. Both are going in the same direction, so I add that up and I keep that sign, which is the direction. Next one, two positives. That means I'm adding -3 plus 3. Well, if I go one direction, 3 steps, and I go back the other 3 steps, I'm back at 0. For D, I have a positive and a negative. That's the same thing as having 4 minus 3, which you know is 1. For E, I have a positive and a negative, so that's the same thing as having 3 minus 4. Opposite directions, I find a difference between 4 and 3, which is 1, and I keep the sign of the direction I go more steps in. For F, I have a positive and a negative, so that means I'm subtracting. 10 minus 5, you know, is 5. For G, I have a positive and a negative, so that's the same as having -10 minus 5, both going in the same direction, so I add them up and I keep the direction. For H, positive and a positive, which means I'm adding, so I have -10 plus 5, going in opposite directions. That's what the negative and the positive tell me. So I'm going to go ahead and take the difference between 10 and 5, which is 5, and I keep the sign of the direction I go farther in. For I, I'm supposed to find the opposite of each number. Well, for I, that would be 8, so I just change the sign. For J, it'd be -4, again, just change the sign. And for K, 0 is neither positive nor negative, so it's just simply 0. There is no opposite. For L, it says solve each subtraction problem using algebraic addition. All I want you to do is rewrite it so that you can work it. So I have -3 plus 4 because I have two negatives. That's the same as 4 minus 3, which is 1. M, I have -4, and subtraction wins out because I have one negative. Both going in the same direction, so 6 in that direction with the sign given, or the direction. The sign is the direction. I'm adding those, so that would be 3 plus 6, which you know is 9. And then the last one, adding again, so that's -2 plus 4, which is 2. Same as 4 minus 2. All done with that.